Gandang hapon. Pag-usapan po natin yung na-discover na ginagawa ngayon ni Imelda Marcos. Ang ginagawa niya po sa ngayon ay nagbukas naman siya ng bagong foundation sa Amerika na naman. Dati doon siya nagbubukas sa Switzerland. So ngayon sa Amerika na naman siya nagbukas. So ang pag-usapan natin ay bakit siya nagbukas? Ang sagot ko dyan na pinakamalapit ay kung ginawa niya ito noon sa Swiss, yung bata pa siya, at ang ginamit niya ng foundation, tuloy-tuloy, foundation from one to another, pagkahanap nga lo yung isang cellphone, hindi makita, ay ginamit niya na taguan ng pera. Ibig sabihin, may itatago na namang pera si Romualdez. Ganon ba yan? Sa bag ko pala siguro. So ngayon, kung ganon may itatagong pera, saan naman siya kukuha ng pera? Pwedeng manggaling sa nakaw ni Bongbong. Or pwede yung sabihin na yung dating pera nila na tinatago ay doon nila itatago. So, yan po ang nakikita kong pangyayari dito. Ngayon, para maniwala kayo, ay ipapakita ko sa inyo yung kopya ng document na in-apply na magtatayo sila ng foundation. At ang nakakita nito itong lawyer na Cebuano na sa Amerika nagtatrabaho. At nakuha niya ang dokumento. At ito papakita ko sa inyo ang dokumento. Tinabunan lamang niya mga importanteng detalye ng agent. So through an agent, gumamit si Imelda Marcos ng agent. At ito nga ang in-apply nila. So, sabi ni Dean Chase, ito mga kabayan, fresh na fresh. Bongbong Marcos, post ko na to. Post ko na mga incoming international wire transfer. Kasi ang kasunod dito, magpadala ng pera by wire transfer para ipundo sa bangko ng bagong korporasyon. Ang pangalan ng bagong korporasyon ay Imelda Romualdez Marcos Foundation. Yan. So, meron siyang principal address ay tinabunan lang. So, initial mailing address tinabunan lang. Tapos, gumamit sila ng agent. Ang pangalan ng agent ay si Robert. Hindi lang malaman sa dulo. So, ang purpose ng statement is this corporation is a non-profit public benefit corporation and is not organized for the private gain of any person. It is organized under the non-profit public benefit corporation law for public and charitable purposes. Additional statements, the specific purpose of this corporation is to our organization will engage in education workshop and summits at different venues all over the U.S. We will also have online webinars using Zoom or other technologies like Microsoft Teams or Google Meet. This corporation is organized and operated inclusively for the purposes set forth within the meaning of International Revenue Code Section 501c3. So ito yung purpose ng sinulat nila ni Imelda Marcos sa bakit bumubuo sila ng foundation. So no substantial part of the activities of this corporation shall consist of carrying on propaganda or otherwise attempting to influence legislation. And this corporation shall not participate or intervene in any political campaign, including this publishing or distribution of statements on behalf of any candidate or for public office. The property of this corporation is irrevocably dedicated to the purposes set forth herein, and no part of the net income of assets this corporation shall ever inure to the benefit of any director, officer, or member, or benefit thereof. Ang problema, income ang binagbabawalan na ibibigay. Kung ang kapital lang ikuan, di pwedeng ilipat-lipat kapital. So, upon the dissolution or winding up of the corporation, its assets remaining after payment or provision for payment of all debts and liabilities of this corporation shall be distributed to a non-profit fund, foundation, or corporation which is organized and operated exclusively for charitable purposes, educational and all religious purposes, and which has established its tax-exempt status under International Revenue Code, Section 501(c)(3). Notwithstanding any of the above statements of purpose and powers, this corporation shall not, except to an insubstantial degree, engage in any activities or exercise any powers that are not in furtherance of the specific purpose of this corporation. So, ibig sabihin, ito na po, nag-organize sila. Imelda Romualdez Marcos Foundation. So, sabi ni Dean Chase, biruin nyo, sa dami ng kailangan ng tulong dyan sa Pinas dito sa talaga magpa-foundation sa Estados Unidos. Dapat sa Pilipinas ka lang ng foundation. Ang galing talaga ng tumanggap ng labada. So, yan po ang kaisipan nito ay money laundering naman sila. Ano ang basihan ko na parang ganun ang purpose? Kasi nagawa na po nila ito sa Swiss, na discovery lang accidentally yung Swiss account. Ito yung pinanggalingan ng Swiss account na 600 plus million. Sabi ni Froilan Denches, aside sa viral give a copy to someone in Philippine Senate at kay Kiko Barsaga to make a privileged speech for possible impeachment case. Denches, sir, lahat ng mga naipon mo na yan na pwede maging grounds for impeachment kay Bangag, BBM ascend mo kay Kong Kiko Barsaga at Senator Rodante Marcolita para mag-file na sila ng impeachment kasi kawawa ang taong bayan kung abot pa ng 3 years. Okay. So, grabe talaga, sabi ni Roboy Cabanes, grabe talaga kapal na mukha. Wala silang pagmamahal sa mga Pilipino. Ibig sabihin, ito po ang katibayan. Kung ako tanongin nyo, ito po yung katibayan na nagnanakaw si BBM. At itatago ang ninanakaw dito sa foundation na ito. Did you see? Kita mo, Bernard Magtibay? Ganito, history repeating itself. Seawall o tax exempt po, hindi makukuha ng tax. Grabe. Ito po yung ginagawa ni Bangag sa pamagitan ng nanay niya. Nag-appoint sila ng agent na mag-apply. Ang pangalan ng agent si Robert, tinabunan lang ng pula yung iba. So, received by the California Secretary of State. Yun. State of California, Articles of Incorporation, Non-Profit Corporation. Ngayon, after having this, babasahin ko sa inyo ngayon kung paano nila binuo yung mga foundation sa Swiss para maitago ang pera. Itong babasahin ko, itong nakasulat mismo sa Supreme Court decision. So, ito po ang gagawin natin. Ang kasong ito po ay ang kasong ito ay nagsimula itong kasong ito sa title ng kaso, Republic of the Philippines Petitioner versus the Honorable Sandigan Bayan, tapos versus Ferdinand E. Marcos, represented by his estate, heirs, Imelda R. Marcos, Maria Imelda Aimee Marcos Banutok, Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., and Irene Marcos Araneta, and Imelda Romualdez Marcos. Ayan, itong kasong ito. Ang sumulat ito si Corona pa. So, ang background, nasabi ni Renato Corona, ang background, on December 17, 1991, Petitioner Republic, through the Presidential Commission on Good Government, represented by the Office of the Solicitor General, filed a petition for forfeiture before the Sandigan Bayan docketed as civil case number 0141 entitled Republic of the Philippines versus Ferdinand E. Marcos, represented by his estate or heirs, and Imelda R. Marcos pursuant to Republic Act 1379. 1379 is in ill-gotten wealth law yan. In relation to Executive Order numbers 1, 2, 14, and 14-1. Yung Executive Order na to, ito yung pinalabas ni Cory Aquino nung buhay pa siya. At yung siya presidente pa. In said case, petitioner sought the declaration of the aggregate amount of 356 million US dollar. Yun yung nakatago na ni-discover. Bangko nakasikreto yan. Layer ng mga foundation yan ang nagtago niyan. Ang ginawa nila, para maintindihan ninyo, nagtayo muna si Imelda Marcos ng isang foundation. Ang pangalan ng una, Trinidad. Pagkatapos ng naibigay niya ng pundo, lahat ng pundo sa Trinidad na corporation, gawa naman siya panibagong foundation at yung capital ng pangalawang foundation ay nanggaling doon sa capital ng unang foundation. Tapos gumawa na siya pangatlong foundation at in the same manner, yung foundation na sa pangalawa, yun naman ang nagkakapital sa pangatlong foundation. Pang-apat na foundation, mula sa pangatlong foundation, yung nagkakapital ng pang-apat na foundation. Yung pang-limang foundation, ay mula sa pang-apat na foundation, papunta sa limang foundation ang kapital. So, lahat po niyan na trace ng Philippine government. At it belongs to one person, Imelda Marcos. At yung Trinidad Foundation, siya lang doon nagdeposito ng bukas ng account ng pera. See? Ganon din ang gagawin itong panimula nila, Imelda Romualdez Marcos Foundation. Itong unahan nila. So ngayon, ang basahin ko ngayon kung paano binuo yung mga foundation. Kasi ang decision sa kasong ito, kinumpiska na ng Pilipinas ang $356 million na tumubo sa $658 million. Okay? At ipinasa na ito sa Philippine government. Nakuha na. So, the funds were previously held. Ito ang perang ito ay directly na nakukuha sa pangalan ng ganitong mga account name. Number one account name, Azio Berzo Bibor Foundation accounts. Pangalawa, Sandy Winthrop Charis Scolari Balamos Pinos Abertina Foundation accounts. Number 3, Trinidad Raybay Palme Foundation accounts. Tapos number 4, Rosalis Aguamina Foundation accounts, and number 5, Mahler Foundation accounts. Ito po yung mga finally may hawak na sa pangalan ng $658 million. Okay. In addition, the petition sought the forfeiture of $25 million and $5 million in treasury notes, which exceeded the Marcos couple's salaries, other lawful income, as well as income from the legitimately acquired property. The treasury notes are frozen at the Central Bank of the Philippines, now Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, by virtue of the freeze order issued by the PCGG. On October 18, 1993, respondents Imelda R. Marcos, Maria Imelda Marcos Manutok, Irene Marcos Araneta, and Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr. filed their answer. Before the case was set for pre-trial, a general agreement and supplemental agreements dated December 28, 1993 were executed or agreed upon by the Marcos children and the PCGG chairman, Magtanggol Gunigondo, for a global settlement of assets. Itong si Magtanggol Gunigondo, itong agreement na ito ang naging dahilan kung bakit nakabalik sila sa Pilipinas. Kaya pag buhay pa ito sa Magtanggol Gunigondo, pakisabi sa kanya, buisit siya. Kundi dahil ito sa agreement na ginawa niya, hindi nakabalik ang mga Marcos dito. Subsequently, respondent Marcos children filed a motion dated December 7, 1995 for the approval of the said agreements and for the enforcement thereof. So the general agreement or supplemental agreement sought to identify, collate, cost, the inventory, and distribute all assets presumed to be owned by the Marcos family under the conditions contained therein. So, ang unang kondisyon, ipunin ang lahat ng property na nakikita na pag-ari ng mga Marcos family. So, the aforementioned general agreement specified in one of its premises or whereas clauses the fact that the petitioner obtained a judgment from the Swiss Federal Tribunal on December 21, 1990 that the $356 million belongs to the, in principle to the Republic of the Philippines, provided certain conditionalities are met. The said decisions of the Swiss Federal Supreme Court affirmed the decision of the Zurich District Attorney, Peter Consande, granting petitioner's request for legal assistance. Consande declared the various deposits in the name of the enumerated foundations to be of illegal governance and ordered that they be frozen to await the final verdict in favor of the parties entitled to restitution. So hearings were conducted by the Sandigan Bayan on the motion to approve the general or supplemental agreements. Respondent Ferdinand Jr. of BBM was presented as witness for the purpose of establishing the partial implementation of the said agreements. On October 18, 1996, Petitioner Republic filed a motion for summary judgment and or judgment on the pleadings. Respondent Mrs. Marcos filed her opposition thereto, which was later adopted by respondents Mrs. Manotok, Mrs. Araneta, and Ferdinand Jr. In its resolution dated 1997, the Sandigan Bayan denied petitioner's motion for summary judgment and or judgment on the pleadings on the ground that the motion to approve the compromise agreement took precedence over the motion for summary judgment. Respondent Mrs. Marcos filed a manifestation on May 26, 1998 claiming she was not a party to the motion for approval of the compromise agreement and that she owned 90% of the funds with the remaining 10% belonging to the Marcos estate. Meanwhile, on August 10, 1995, petitioner filed with the district attorney in Zurich, Switzerland, an additional request for the immediate transfer of the deposits to an escrow account in the PNB. The request was granted. On appeal by the Marcoses, the Swiss Federal Supreme Court in a decision dated December 10, 1997, upheld the ruling of the district attorney of Zurich, granting the request for the transfer of the funds. In 1998, the funds were remitted to the Philippines in escrow. Subsequently, respondent Marcos' children moved that the funds be placed in custodial lehes because the deposit in escrow in the PNB was allegedly in danger of dissipation by the petitioners. The Sandigan Bayan, in its resolution dated September 8, 1998, granted the motion. After the pretrial and the issuance of pretrial order and the supplemental pretrial order dated October 28, 1999 and January 21, 2000, respectively, the case was set for trial. After several resettings, petitioner on March 10, 2000 filed another motion for summary judgment pertaining to the forfeiture of $356 million based on the following grounds. Number one, the essential facts which warrant the forfeiture of the funds subject of the petition under RA 1379 are admitted by the respondents in their pleadings and other submissions made in the course of the proceedings. Number two, respondent admissions made during the pretrial that they do not have any interest or ownership over the funds subject to the action of the forfeiture tenders na genuine issue. Okay. So ngayon, ang nangyari sa pangalawa dito, nag-motion Republic, tapusin na yan. Total, ginawa ng mga Marcos kasi, kunwari, para ang taktika nila ay i-deny nila na kanila yung Swiss account. So pag i-deny, ang iniisip nila, ibalik ngayon ng Pilipinas pabalik sa Switzerland yung pera. Problema, hindi ganun nangyari. So anyway, to cut the story short, nakuha ng Philippines ang pera. Ang pera na nakuha kabuuan ay, tingnan natin. So it's just before the court. So wherefore, the petition is hereby granted. The assailed resolution of Sandigan Bayan dated January 31, 2002 is set aside. The Swiss deposits transferred to and are now in the hands of Philippine National Bank in the estimated aggregate amount of $658,175,373.60. As of January 31, 2002, plus interest are hereby forfeited in favor of the Republic of the Philippines. So kung paano na desisyon ng Supreme Court ito, tinotal, kinwenta ng Supreme Court ang sweldo ni Imelda sa ni Ferdinand Marcos Sr. mula nung nag-umpisa sila sa pagiging opisyal ng bayan hanggat sa naalis sila noong 1986. So 1 million mahigit lang ang naipon ata. So hindi nila mapaliwanag paano sila nagkaroon ng 600 plus million US dollars. So kaya ang naging decision ng Supreme Court, kinuha na lahat. Kasi hindi napatunayan na sa kanila na pwede nilang kukunin. Pwede nilang kitain. So ang ginamit na Section 2 ng Article 1379, Republic Act 1379, explicitly states that whenever any public officer or employee has acquired during his incumbency an amount of property which is manifestly out of proportion compared to his salary as such public officer or employee and as to other lawful income and the income from legitimately acquired property, said property shall be presumed prima facie to have been unlawfully acquired. O, kasi hindi mapaliwanag, kinuha na ng gobyerno. Yan po istorya sa Swiss Bank. Ngayon, balik tayo sa punto, sa tanong, paano nila natipon yung ganun? So, ito po. Umpisa natin sa sa narration At balikan muna natin ng total competition ng Supreme Court. Ang total competition sa Supreme Court na magiging income nila ipakita ko nga to. Ipakita ko ito. Yung decision ng Supreme Court binabasa ko, ipakita ko. So, yan. Yang may highlight, yan ang total na income ni Marcos, Mr. and Mrs. Marcos. So, 16 million. So, ang legal practice ni Marcos, 11 million lang kinita niya. So, 16 million. So, hindi siya mapaliwanag paano siya nagkaroon ng 600 or 300 na lang, 300 million dollars. So, yan ang decision ng Supreme Court. Tapos dito, letter G, the secret Marcos deposits in Swiss banks. Number 23, the following presentation very clearly and overwhelmingly show in detail how both respondents clandestinely stashed away. Ibig sabihin, respondents mga Marcoses, clandestinely stashed away the country's wealth to Switzerland and hid the same under layers upon layers of foundations and other corporate entities to prevent its detection. Through their dummies or nominees, funds or agents who formed those foundations or corporate entities, they opened and maintained numerous bank accounts. But due to the difficulty, if not the impossibility of detecting and the documenting all the secret accounts as well as the economy of the deposits, enormity of the deposits herein hidden, the following presentation is confined to 5 identified accounts. So, ibig sabihin, marami pang ibang accounts, pero itong 5 lang na accounts ang pag-usapan natin. Dito po kinuha ang mga accounts. Okay, magsimula tayo sa account ng pangalan ay Asio Verso Bebor Foundation accounts. So, on June 11, 1971, ito paano na nabuo itong account na ito On June 11, 1971, wala pang martial law. Ferdinand Marcos issued a written order to Dr. Theo Berto, legal counsel of Swiss Irachi Credit and Staff or SKA, also known as Swiss Credit Bank, for him to establish the ASIO Foundation. Ganun lang pala, written order na magbuo ng foundation. Bakit siya mag-order? Ibig sabihin, depositor na siya. So on the same date, Marcos executed the power of attorney in favor of Roberto S. Benedicto. Ginagamit pa si Roberto Benedicto, empowering him to transact business on behalf of the said foundation. Pursuant to the said Marcos mandate, ASIO Foundation was formed on June 21, 1971 in Bados, Walter Fraser and Eneseller So, pinurma itong pangalan ng Azio Foundation. So, Ferdinand Marcos Sr. mismo nagutos. Tapos, nilagay dito na si Dr. Helmut Merling from Shaan were designated as members at saka si Ernest Schiller, si Walter Freisler, tatlo sila dinesignate nila na members sila ng Board of Trustees ng Foundation. Saka si Ferdinand Marcos, pinangalanan niya ang first beneficiary at saka ang Marcos Foundation Incorporated as the second fiduciary. So ang first beneficiary ay si Ferdinand Marcos Sr. Ang second is sa kanya pa rin, Marcos Foundation Incorporated. On November 12, 1971, Marcos again issued another written order naming Ostra Hill Pty Limited in Sydney, Australia as the foundation first and sole beneficiary. This was recorded on December 14, 1971. In an undated instrument, Marcos changed the first and sole beneficiary to Charis Foundation. Tinanggal niya pangalan niya. Saka pinalitan niya Charis Foundation para hindi malata. Next is, on August 29, 1978, Azio Foundation was renamed to Verso Foundation. So, naging Verso ng Azio. The Board of Trustees remained the same. On March 11, 1981, Marcos issued a written directive to liquidate Verso Foundation and to transfer. Ibig sabihin, ininto niya na ang Verso Foundation. At itlipat ang lahat ng pera nito sa Fides Trust Company. May bago na naman siya. Ilipat naman sa Fides Trust Company at Bank Hoffman in Zurich under the account reference OSER. The Board of Trustees decided to dissolve the foundation on June 25, 1981. So, next is, in an apparent maneuver to bury further the secret deposits beneath the thick layers of corporate entities, Ferdinand Marcos Sr. effected the establishment of Bivor Foundation, pangatlong foundation, binuo sa Vaduz. In Vaduz, Attorney Ibo Beck and Limag Management, a wholly owned subsidiary of Fides Trust, were designated as members of the Board of Trustees. The account was officially opened with SKA on September 1981. The beneficial owner was not made known to the bank since Fides Trust Company acted as fiduciary. However, comparison of the listing of the securities in the safe deposit register of the Verso Foundation as of February 27, 1981 with that of the Bivor Foundation as of December 31, 1991 readily reveals that exactly the same securities were listed. So on March 18, 1986, the Marcos designated Board of Trustees decided to binunukan, niliquidate, tinerminate naman ang Bivor Foundation. So, pangatlo na to ng foundation na tinerminate. So, diliquidate. So, a notice of such liquidation was sent to the Office of the Public Register on March 21, 1996. However, the bank accounts and respective balances of the said Bivor Foundation remained with SKA. Apparently, the liquidation was an attempt by the Marcoses to transfer Foundation's funds to another account or bank, but this was prevented by the timely freeze order issued by the Swiss authorities. Maswerte na lang. At nangyari noon, March 21, 1996, mas dampas na ng February 1996. So, inattempan nila pala tinago. Buti na lang, at tinulungan tayo ng Swiss government, at they just took notice na nagkaroon ng people power sa Pilipinas, at ginawa na lang nila is, pinris nila yung mga pera na mga magnanakaw sa Pilipinas. Yan pang nangyari dito. So, as of December 31, 1989, nung magsara ng Bivor Foundation, ang kanyang asset ay total ng $3,597,544 US dollars. So ito naman nangyari, may isa pang korporasyon naman, Sandy Winthrop, Charis Scolari, Balyamo, Spino, Sabertina Foundation accounts. This is the most intricate and complicated account group, as the flowchart thereof shows. Two groups under the foundation organized by Marcos damaged nominees for FM's benefit eventually joined together and became one account group under Albertina Foundation for the benefit of both FM and Imelda. This is the biggest group from where the uh, from where the 50 million investment fund of the Marcoses was drawn when they bought the central bank's dollar-denominated treasury notes with high-yielding interest. So bumili pa pala sila sa central bank kahit na hindi na sila presidente, bumili din sila sa mga treasury notes ng Pilipinas. So on March 20, 1968, after a second year in the presidency, Marcos opened, ano pa na siyang unang presidente? Pangalawang napagtapos din ng after a second year in the presidency. First presidency pa lang ito. Kasi nanalo siya 1966, tapos 67, 68, tapos pagkatapos ng 1968, na presidente siya, nagbukas na naman siyang account sa SKA using an alias pseudonym William Saunders. So ito na ngayon napakapangalan kay William Saunders. Apparently to hide his true identity. The next day, March 21, 1968, his first lady, Mrs. Imelda Marcos, also opened her bank accounts with the same bank using an American-sounding name, Jane Ryan. Yan tandaan nyo, William Saunders saka si Jane Ryan. Found among the voluminous documents in Malacanang shortly after they fled to Hawaii. In haste, that fateful night of February 25, 1986 were accomplished forms for declaration specimen signatures submitted by the Marcos couple. Under the caption signatures, Ferdinand and Imelda signed their real names as well as their respective aliases underneath. These accounts were actively operated and maintained by the Marcoses for about 2 years until their closure sometime in February 1970, and the balances transferred to the Sandy Foundation. So talagang bukas-sara ang taktika nila ng mga bank account. So ngayon, sa Sandy Foundation ang ibig sabihin ng Sandy spelling niya, X-A-N-D-Y, was established on March 3, 1973 sa Valdus, sa Swiss pa rin. So si FM tsaka ibig sabihin si Marcos Sr. tsaka si Imelda they issued the written mandate to establish the foundation to Marcos Gill of SKA on March 3, 1970. So nagkaroon na sila ng bagong foundation. Ang pangalan is Marcos Gill. In the handwritten regulations signed by the Marcos couple as well as the typo-written regulations signed by Marcos Gill, both dated February 13, 1970, the Marcos spouses were named the first beneficiaries, the surviving spouse of the second beneficiary, and the Marcos children, Amy, Ferdinand Jr., Irene, and as equal third parties. So pagtapos Sandy Foundation, napunta naman sa Albertina Foundation. So hanggat sa napunta sa Charis Foundation, hanggat sa Spinos Foundation. Yan po ang ginawa. Tapos ito naman, Trinidad Ray-Bay Palmi Foundation accounts. Nagsimula, ganun din taktika. Ang pinakahuling kumpanya dito ng pangalan ay nagiging Palmi Foundation na. Ito naman kay Rosalie Saguamina Foundation accounts. 1971 din na numpisan. At nagiging, pinalit mang pangalan ito? Ginawa ng Aguamina Corporation. So, yun po ang pangalan niya. Tapos sila naman, Muller Foundation accounts. So, okay, napakarami siya. Hindi ko nababasahin kasi sobrang dami. At least naintindihan naman ninyo na ang ibig sabihin, ang scheme nila ni Imelda Marcos at saka ni Ferdinand Marcos, magbukas ng isang foundation, doon i-deposito yung unang pera. Pagkatapos, bubukas ulit pa ng bagong foundation at yung pera na deposit sa una, i-deposit, ilagay dito na capital sa pangalawang foundation. Magbukas ulit pangatlong foundation, yung pera sa second foundation, gagawin naman capital ng third foundation. Tapos pagbubukas na pang-apat na foundation, mula sa pangatlo, i-capital naman sa pang-apat na foundation hanggat sa 5 foundation. Ganon po, kasimple magtago sila. Ngayon kasi nagbukas naman si Imelda ng tinatawag na foundation sa Amerika, yan ang iniisip natin. So, ngayon, yan ay po yung mangyayari. So ladies and gentlemen, am I with you or you are with me? Ano na lang, mag-shout out na lang po ako. So Bernard Magtibay, si Seawolf, tapos si Ophelia AP Beth Taipan, tama si Ford na kung iboto si BBM na presidente magnanakaw ulit. Tapos katulad ng kanyang ama, tama si former President Duterte. O yan. Si hindi pala Ford, APRD. So Ma'am Zilia, the best top gun ng pera i-charity galing ng otak kahit matanda na. Ang galing ng otak nila. So Dave Dombrick, hello po, attorney. Tapos Thomas Esplana, gandang hapon, attorney Toto. Shout out dito sa amin sa Sampaloc, Maynila. Sa Sampaloc, mga taga Sampaloc, kumusta kayo? Ay wag niyo na iboto ang mga masida, mga corrupt din ang mga masida. So si Wolf, the legal way to hide money. So Dave Drumbick, more power po sa programa mo. Salamat po. Thomas Esplana, mandurugas talaga. Reggie Regal Felipe, good afternoon, Dr. Toto. Kuya Farbing, good afternoon, Toto, Tirador, Doktor, Engineer, Attorney, damo gid nga salamat sa pagkamalinaw na paghatag sa pagbahagi. Dennis Kausing, my brad, AH, kaya si Junior, grabe pag kurakot kasi nanay at tatay super kurakot. Rodi Rabe, good afternoon, Dr. Kausing. Kita mo naman, Pastor Rodi. Ron Robert Go, Pinky. Si Pinky Lacson, kumusta ka na? So AH, si GR doble mangkurakot, pagkakurakot. Nanay at tatay super kurakot. Di ko maintindihan kung bakit gusto pa yung Marcos ng tao. Yun. Hindi ko rin alam ang sagot. Hindi nga makatabang si Imelda sa mga sakuna. Talo pa ng mga Christian churches. So paano pa siya tutulong sa mga may sakuna? Diniposito nila sa Amerika. Valerie Serma, Regent Ford, Bog sa Adam. Mayo nga po sir, ganun sila kagaling magtago ng pera. Tapos Antonio Almonte, mga ill-gotten wealth ay doon nila itatago. Regal Felipe, professional tip talaga. Okay, kanya kung gaano sila ka-professional. O sige, paki-share na lang po at hanggang dito lang muna tayo.